speak every year at the GoPro event in Las Vegas, and I've spoken a few times there with Tony Robbins. He said something backstage one time that it's like I've repeated this at least 1,000 times now. The only way for a human to feel more alive is to be a part of something bigger than himself. You guys, we're a part of a vision, a cause, a mission, or a crusade that's way bigger than you and me. Okay? When I was in my real estate career, I wasn't a part of something bigger than me. If I didn't sell you a house, somebody else would. I wouldn't change anybody's life. This is the way I looked at it. But what we do with Legal Shield is life-changing. We actually empower people. We impact people's lives. And so, number one, make sure that you know what the vision of this company is and embrace it. Make it your own. Yeah, it started with Harlan Stonecypher, the founder of the company. He's no longer here. But it's ours now. And by the way, I didn't wait till Mr. Stonecypher's time had come and gone. When I stepped foot in this company 21 years ago, I embraced it and it was my own. When I went to a convention, this was my convention. When I go to Super Saturday, it's my Super Saturday. Take ownership of it, number one. Number two, you got to have your own vision. Okay, and during the presentation earlier today, I talked a lot about what this business can do to you, the money, how much upfront money, the long-term residual income, all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, what life do you want to live? Unfortunately, most people spend more time planning a 2-week vacation than they do planning or designing their own life. I mean, seriously, have you ever actually sat down, whether it's you by yourself or if you have a significant other, have you ever sat down for like a half an hour and said, hey, let's plan how we want our life to go? Most people have never done that. It blows my mind. They just go through the motions. Like a ping pong ball in a wind tunnel, like John Addison says, just wherever the wind blows, you just go wherever it goes, wherever the light takes you. Got an obstacle over here, you bounce over here. It's like, why don't you decide, here's what I want my life to be like? If you're married, if you have children, do you want to spend time with your kids? Well, if you don't plan how you're going to have time with your kids, you won't have time with your kids because you'll be out there slaving away for $1. So you take the vision of Legal Shield, and then you take the vision of what you want your life to be like, and you bring them together. Look, focus on my hand right now. Everybody focus on this hand. Anybody having a problem focusing on it? No, it's easy to do. This represents what you want to do with your life. Focus on this hand right now. Anybody having a problem focusing on it? No. That's what you're doing with your life. That's what you're doing day to day. Those are your activities. Easy to focus on it, right? Now watch this. Focus on both of them right now at the same time. Can any of you guys focus on both of them at the same time? You can't do it. It's not possible. That's how most people live their lives. Here's what you want. Here's what you're doing. They're not congruent. Focus on both of them right now. Anybody having a problem doing it? No, you can easily do it. You got to bring it together. Most people have not consciously sat down and mapped out how can I bring together what I want and what I'm doing and do it. So you've got to figure out what you're here for. Now, I alluded to this earlier. I know some of you all were invited into a private closed door meeting at 1 o'clock today because you went out and brought some new people on board and you earned your way into that room. I talked about the fact that a lot of people, we all talk about our why. Why are you getting started in this business? Well, I want to do it for my spouse. I want to bring him or her home from her job. Or I want to do this for my kids. I want more time with my kids. Or I want to retire from my job. I want a new home. I want to travel. I want to go do mission trips. All these whys, and they all sound great. And most of the time when people say, here's what my why is, they're saying it, I'm not saying it's not disingenuous, but just to sound altruistic, yeah, you have an altruistic why. It's good for you, you're doing this for your kids and all that. But if you're not doing the activity to build this business successfully, then their why was bullshit. It really was. I mean, let me correct myself. It's not that it was a bad why or a wrong why. It is a why, but it's not the why that you need. Yeah, you want to do this for your spouse, you want to do this for your kids. Yes, I agree. That's not yes. It's actually true, but it's not the right why. Here's what the right why is. When you're feeling sick, I'm not talking about like heaving, but I'm talking about like you're under the weather a little bit, and you don't feel like making a phone call. But your why is so strong that you make the phone call anyway. Like you have a Tuesday night business briefing that you're supposed to go to once a week. But you look out, and it looks like, there's a dark cloud out west. I can't go. If it's raining, I can't go to this meeting. It's raining. I might get wet. Now, if you have a job, it could be pouring and you still go. It could be a hurricane. If your job is open and they need you there, you go anyway. But for your business, for your fortune at your building, it looks like there's a chance it might drizzle, you don't go. that means your why isn't the right why. Now, for a long time, I've always said, hey, my why is I want to be able to get married and have kids. I want to be able to spend time with my family. And it sounds altruistic. But recently, in the last few years, I've gotten a lot more real about sharing what really was going on inside, where I wasn't just trying to sound. Back then, I wanted to sound good. I wanted people to appreciate what I was saying. I want to be real with you. I was 28 years old. I was single. Okay? Yeah, I wanted to have all this stuff, so when I got married and I had kids, I had the freedom at that point. But you know what drove me? I was 28 and I was single. And I'm sorry. I mean, I know some of you all confuse me with Brad Pitt, but I'm not Brad Pitt. So, hey, look. I'm not as good looking as I wish I was born good looking, right? So I'm just being real with you guys. I felt like if I can become wildly successful in my business, and if I had millions of dollars, and if I can pull up to the bar in a Ferrari, then maybe a lady at the bar might take me more seriously or might want to talk to me because I was important, I was successful. That's what was going on in my head. I haven't said that until recently, because who's going to say that out loud to anybody else? Right? But that's what drove me. I wanted to be wildly successful in this business because I wanted to have the Ferrari. What do people want? Love and respect. Love and respect. I felt like if I had a lot of money, I could get that. That's what drove me. I went platinum in 6 months because of that. I made my first $1 million in 2.5 years because of that. Now, you might look down at that why and say, well, that's a weird why, and why would you ever think that way? Well, guess what? It worked. So if your why sounds better to you, why is it not working for you? Right? Figure out your why that is going to cause you to build the business with a relentless focus. If you don't have that why, you'll be here a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, saying, well, why am I not succeeding like all these other people walking across the stage? You never got real with the real why. It doesn't have to be altruistic. It just has to be something that matters to you. Now, guess what? I've probably put on that Ferrari, I don't know, since I've owned it. I've owned it now. When did I get it? In 2003? 2001? Yeah, 2001. So I've had it for 20 years. I've put like 6,000 miles on it. It's like, I never drive it. I used to be able to tell girls I had one, but I mean, it's like, it doesn't matter to me anymore. I really don't give a shit about cars. The other things matter to me now. When I got that check from Legal Shield in Salt Lake City for the $16,000, guess what? I give it to Sean Reyes, the Attorney General, for the child trafficking, so we can stop some of that stuff from happening. Anyway, I don't even know where I'm going with all this, so let me get some of those here. So, the company vision and your vision, pulling a why together, that's everything. And here, you guys think bigger. If you came into this business because you looked at this as an opportunity to make a few extra $100 a month or a few extra $1,000 a month, okay, yes, you can do that, and that's awesome. And I'm not belittling that if that's what you're here for. But if you can do that, you can do more. And if you can do more, then you should do more. Because here's the thing, when you bring people onto your team, they're looking at you. And you are the lid to their realm of possibilities. So if you're not taking the business very seriously, but you got people on your team that look up to you because you're their upline, so they look up to you in that way, and you're not, and you're just kind of just nickel and dime in this thing, you're causing them to not have big vision, and you cause them to not believe that they can go out and do big things. Part of the reason why I've always continued to stay out in front, personally building and personally in the trenches and always trying to escalate is because I want to make sure that people that I'm leading never feel like I'm their lid. I never wanted anybody to butt up against me. I always want to stay way out in front so everybody knows they can go out and achieve anything that they want. I haven't done this for the money in a long time. I really haven't. I'm worth a lot of money now. I mean, like tens of millions. Now I didn't make that and spend it like a lot of people do. I've done really well. And I'm just being truthful with you because I do this because of what I know this is going to do for other people. Years ago, I used to say this, where I spend all my time in Legal Shield. I want to have an impact. I like helping other people, right? But instead of me spending 20 hours a week going out and doing charitable things, here's my mindset. Here's what it was. Oh, it still is. instead of me spending 20 hours a week going out and feeding homeless in Maryland, or spending more hands-on time with like the kids with the Sunshine Kids for the kids with cancer, I said, if I can lean in and build a great, huge team of people and help them get freed up from their jobs, because now Legal Shield is allowing them to have time freedom now, and then each of them can then go out and spend 20 hours a week doing charitable things. If I can get 1,000 people freed up, and they each now have 20 hours. Now instead of me doing 20 hours a week doing good in the world, I now have 20,000 man hours doing good in the world. That's how I look at this business model and how we can have freedom. So look, guys, I'm going to give you some stuff that you can take notes on. Hopefully you'll take some notes on this and go back and reflect on this and act on it. You've got to be relentless. Be relentless about what we're doing here. Don't take no for an answer. No just means you didn't say the right words. You haven't reached them the way you need to reach them. I'm going to give you an example. I've got a new friend who I'm going to meet in about an hour when we're done. His name is Kermit the Bazooka Gonzalez, right there, for a boxer. So here you go. Let me tell you all a story. I was speaking at an event in Key West, and one of the other speakers that was there at the event, his name was Joey Gilbert. He was a professional boxer with Sylvester Stallone on the show The Contender. Guy is an amazing boxer, total legend, and he owns a big law firm in Reno. He also is a real estate broker, and we actually connected. He's now with me in Legal Shield. Well, one of his boxing buddies right here, Zook, they boxed together here in Florida. I was trying to get him out here last night. He blew me off. I've nothing on my mouth because he kicked my ass. But he was supposed to come here today at 3 o'clock, but he got detained at another event he was at and was able to get here. But while I was over there, I was texting, and I wasn't really getting anywhere, so I got his boxing buddy Joey Gilbert to text him, and between the two of us, he's here right now. He just got his business. Now, we'll see what he's going to do with his business. He doesn't even know what the business is yet. But how many of you, by show of hands, are going to bet that when I talk to him later, he's going to be in the business with us? So here's the thing. It's all about being relentless. It's all about knowing what you're doing, knowing where you're going, because people want to attach themselves to somebody who knows where they're going. You got to have confidence. You have to have posture. You have to have attitude, and you need to know where you're going. If you're just half in, half out, just kind of loosey-goosey about this thing, nobody's going to want to attach to you, right? So, now let's talk about the system, because one of the things I'm all about is not about working hard for the sake of working hard. People say, oh, it's noble to work hard. I don't think it's noble to work hard. If you're working hard doing the wrong thing, if you're working hard, work, and your spouse doesn't ever see you, and your marriage is falling apart, that's not noble. If you're working hard, and your kids never see you, now they're getting raised by video games or whatever else they're doing, that's not noble. Hard work for the sake of working hard isn't any good. So I'm all about being system driven. I want to work smart, not hard. I want to get leverage. So working the system is everything. So, how many of you guys have read, honestly, fully read Building an Empire? Okay. If you haven't read the book, let me explain something to you. I was doing this business full time for 14 years. I had already made over $10 million at the time when I decided if I got run over by a train and died, all of my tens of thousands of hours that I spent in the field learning how to build this business would go to the grave with me. Like, I've got to write it down. I've got to put the playbook on paper. So that way, if I'm gone, or even if I'm still here, but if I'm in Virginia and I recruit somebody who comes on board in Kansas, and I'm not there with them, I can't be always there with everybody. You can't. I need to be able to put the playbook in their hands. That's why it took a year and a half it took to write this thing. A year and a half. And when I thought it was done, I'd go out and do another meeting, or I'd go out and do some activity, and I'm like, oh man, that's not in the book. And I'll go back, and that night I'd read a chapter or two. And finally, after a year and a half, I'm like, it's ready. And so here's sometimes I just have one of those things where it's like, I don't understand people. You're in a business, and you got this why that's important to you, and you paid money to start the business, and you're paying $20 each month to come out to Super Saturday, you're doing all these different things. But there's a book, literally, a $17 book that has everything that you need to learn to go from scratch to $1 million a year plus. It's all in a book. And some people are like, I don't want to spend I don't want to spend $17. or if it's not the money, I'm not going to sit down and actually read the book. Well, if you're not willing to read the book, but then you're expecting success, there's something it doesn't jive. So, and by the way, was that not a good sales pitch for the book? It was funny because when I started writing the books, people were like, "Oh, Brian's business must be going down. He must not be making money in the wheelchair anymore because he has to go out and sell books." There's no money in the book business, you guys. For real, there's no money in the book business unless you're like an author doing these novels that sell like 1 million copies in the first week or whatever. There's no money in books. The money in that book is you're going to make money because you're going to apply what's in here. I'm going to make money because people on my team who read the book, their business flourishes in Legal Shield. That's how I make money from the book, right? And the money mindset book, that's the lowest selling book of all 4 of my books. That blows my mind because if you don't know what you're going to do with the money when you make it, you're probably not that motivated to make the money because you don't know what in the world to do with it when it comes in. Because if you don't have the right money mindset, you're either building wealth or you're servicing debt. If you have $5,000 a month in bills, you make $6,000, you pay the $5,000, get your $1,000, you blow it because it was extra. So all you care about was paying bills, just servicing debt. But if you had a wealth building mindset, the real money mindset, you make $6,000, pay the $5,000, the $1,000 that's left over is the only money you were after the entire time. You work all month for the $1,000, not for the $5,000. Because if you're working for the $5,000, you're working for people you owe. You're working for the mortgage company, the insurance company, the utility company. You don't want to work for them. You want to work for your wealth, right? Yeah. But if you don't learn this stuff, they don't teach this stuff in school. I had to actually have a meeting because my kid got in trouble at school. He goes to a private school, costs $29,000 for freaking a year in 7th grade. So I'm sitting here with the headmaster because he got in trouble. They were out in the playground and they were playing ball, and he threw a guy. He was on top trying to get the ball, and some kid pulled him off. So he pulled that kid down, and the kid broke his wrist. My son didn't mean to do it, but it happened. So we were there, and afterward, my Talon and his mom went out in the hallway, and I sat in there with the headmaster. I said, "Can I just ask you for a few minutes?" He said, "Yes." I said, "You know what the school really needs? They need a curriculum where if you just find like every Friday just to spend 30 minutes or an hour with these kids and actually teach them real life applicable things that will help them in life, like organization skills, discipline, character, teach them about economics and how money works, and like teach them something." And I didn't say it like that. I didn't say it like that. I said it tactfully enough that he said, "I really love this. I'm going to circle in a few other people here in the school, and maybe we can have a brainstorm and figure out how we can do that." I said, "Here's the thing. You want to be able to charge $29,000 per student per year for grade school? You need to actually be delivering so much value that other schools don't deliver." I said, "No schools, grade, high school, college, they don't teach real world stuff." Right. I went through private school my entire life because my parents could afford to send me there. I went to Villanova University, got an accounting degree. I never learned shit about making money in school. You know where I learned it all? Right here. I never learned residual income from my dad, who was worth tens of millions for real estate. I never learned it in the real estate game. I learned it here. The real life business school is right here in Legal Shield. It's way bigger than the money you're going to make. It's what you're going to learn here. Again, I don't know where I'm getting all this stuff. But no, that was all to say. I got 51 seconds left right now. So I'm all about using a system. So in the Building an Empire, there is a 7-step system. Okay, you don't have to write it down. Just go buy the book, and it's all right there. But I'm going to walk you all through it. Number one, step 1 out of the 7 steps: get excited. Get excited, but there's a twist to it. Instead of get excited, be excited. Right? Because if you're excited, I mean, some of y'all, how many of y'all are excited right now? The challenge is I wouldn't know it. Because what can I say? some of y'all, you look like your cat just ate your dog. Like, some of y'all don't look excited. But it's not about you being excited, it's about you being exciting. You getting other people, exciting other people. So if you can be exciting about your business, number one. That's number one. And another caveat to that. Don't be interesting, be interested. So that's the flip opposite. Go from being excited to being exciting, but stop trying to be Mr. Exciting, Miss Exciting. Don't feel like everybody is about you. Be interested. Don't be interesting, be interested in other people. Right? I'm interested. Yeah, I want to be interesting. Yeah, sure. But when I learn how to be interested in other people, what they want, and how I can help them get it, I got everything I want to get. So number two, make a list. Everybody you know. Everybody. Who in America deserves access to the legal system? Everybody. Not just the rich, everybody. Who should be protecting their very identity? Everybody. So when somebody joins my team, and like, okay, tell me how to advertise. I'm like, what? What are you talking about, advertise? How do I go on social media or Google and advertise? Who deserves access to the legal system? Everybody. How about your mom? Does she deserve it? Yeah. How about your brother? Yeah. How about your best friend? Yeah. So why do you need to advertise? Go talk to people you care about and show them Legal Shield so they can benefit. After you go through your warm market, your friends and neighbors and relatives and all that, then you can start worrying about finding ways to be able to do some cold market selling and so forth. So everybody goes on your list. Our job, guys, is to educate and inform. You can call it sales if you want to try to sell them, but if you come at, how many of you guys like to be sold? I don't like to be sold. I like to buy, I don't like to be sold. So I don't like to buy. You don't have to go sell it, but you go educate and inform people what Legal Shield will do for them, what's in it for them, and let them decide. Now you can get better at it, like assume the sale, like be assumptive when you show them the membership. Of course you want this. Let's get you signed up. So you can actually find, get better at your craft and doing that and sealing the deal and helping them get protected, helping them get the value. Okay. So number one, get excited. Number two, make a list. Everybody needs to see this. And then number three, you'll launch your business. And this is whether it be Aaron Browning and Marty Wynn and these people that are killing it right now in the business. Yeah. Killing it. Well, how are they doing it? Well, they bring a brand new recruit on board. Within the first 24 hours, they do a private Zoom. They have that, what's your name? Jeff? If I recruit Jeff today, it's Saturday. Guess what? Tomorrow on Sunday, 6 o'clock on Sunday, Jeff, here's my Zoom link. Invite everybody you can off your list. Just get them all on that Zoom, as many as you can get on there. You're going to basically welcome them and introduce me. You're going to spend 30 seconds to introduce me. Your job's done. I'm going to do a 20-minute presentation. At the end, I'm going to paint the vision about how Jeff and I are going to be putting this great team together and how we're going to go out there and really build a huge business, and we're going to help everybody generate that residual cash flow. Here's Jeff's link. Go ahead and get signed up for the membership. Come on board the team if you want to, and we wrap it up. Jeff, all he did was what? Got excited, made a list, invited everybody to a Zoom, and I did a Zoom. Within 24 hours, he's fast track qualified. He's already made several $100. He's going to go up. So the only reason why I do that Zoom for Jeff, not the only reason, but the main reason is because I want to get through him to his contacts, and out of let's say he gets 11 people on there, and let's say 4 will become associates. I want to find 4 more, all those 4, I want to do Zooms for them in the next 24 to 48 hours. I'm going to be doing Zoom after Zoom after Zoom after Zoom. Just get me in front of people so I can share the message of Legal Shield and enroll people that want to enroll. Detach emotionally from the outcome. I preach that to you guys. I'm over there on the side of the room. When I was done talking today, I'm thinking about, okay, who did I invite today that didn't show up? And it bothers me. It's going to bother you. I get it. We're all emotional people. We want for them what they don't even realize that they're missing out on. I get it. But detach emotionally from the outcome. If Jeff puts 11 people on there, 4 sign up, 7 of them say, hey, thanks, but no thanks. It is what it is. But at least we planted the seed. When they have something happen in their life, they are very likely to go back to Jeff. They get a speeding ticket. Well, as long as they go back the same day, they can still get that now. It's no longer pre-existing as long as it's the same day. Okay? If it's the next day, it will be pre-existing. So, but the point is, just you plant the seeds. Okay? Get excited, make a list, do a Zoom to launch. We used to do a PBR, private business reception in the home. Some people are still doing those. Darnell's team is still rocking those right now with Marty Wynn and those guys. Home meetings, socials, and so forth. The step 4 is the private conference call, which we do private Zooms instead of just phone calls now. And then step 5 is the business briefing. I know I just kind of spilled through that. Excited, make a list. PBR at the house, PCC, or now private Zoom call, PZC. And number 5 is a business briefing. And this is, you guys, even though we now do Zooms, and we can do phone calls, and we can use technology, Jim Rohn always said, never neglect the assembly. Can you imagine if you're a churchgoer, and suddenly your pastor shoots everybody in the congregation an email and says, hey, I just want to let you know, it's been a great run. We've got a great congregation here, but we're just going to go ahead and close the doors in the church, and we're just going to start doing Sunday Zooms. You'd probably find a new church. Because for a lot of people, they like to go worship in the house of the Lord together, in person. Well, same thing in this business. We have Zooms, we have conference calls, we have Facebook Lives and all that, but we come together on whatever night it is in your marketplace each week to do a business briefing presentation. And we put the best of the best, whoever's up in front of the room, we get a good person up there that can share the message and share the stories, and all we do is just invite people to come out to be a part of the gathering, watch the presentation, they see the message, they hear some testimonials, and they feel the vibe and the energy in the room. Can you guys, you can feel it right now, right? If anybody was here looking at our company, how in the world would they say, oh, I don't want to be a part of this? And if they come out and they say, and they still don't, okay, we let them go. Like, get away from it. You see what I'm saying? Just some people, they don't get it, and that's totally fine. But you go to your weekly business briefing, and you always bring guests with you. So when I got started at Legal Shield back in Maryland, guess what I did? We had a weekly business briefing on Wednesdays in Rockville. I was here every Wednesday. And I always had multiple people invited to come with me. My goal was to not have one. I wanted to have a whole row of guests looking at that presentation every single week. And some days I would have a bunch, some days I would have a few, and some days I didn't have any. Something came up, whatever, but I would invite them out to the next one. But I was always at my weekly business briefing. People were like, wait, you got to go to a meeting every week? Some people are going to a job every day. And they're never going to get wealthy. And you're saying you have a hard time going to a 1-hour briefing once a week to make 6 figures and beyond, and you have a hard time with that? Again, unrealistic expectations. That's one of the big reasons why some people look at our industry and say, oh, that's not a good industry. Unrealistic expectations. There's no get-rich-quick program that exists anywhere. You're not going to get rich here or anywhere fast. You can build wealth here, but it's a process, and you have to do simple little things. Can you go to a weekly briefing once a week? Can you go to a Super Saturday like this once a month for a few hours? Can you go to a national convention once a year? These are not hard things to do. I've made $22 million doing this system, guys. Got excited, made a list, PBR, PCC. I launched my business, weekly briefing, Super Saturday number 6, and the national convention number 7. That's the system. I haven't changed it. It was taught to me. I've embraced it. I've taught it. Not everybody does it, but those who do succeed. And now we've got a huge team, and my team has been paid over $490 million. So $490 million. And going back to my money mindset, boxing reference, I shouldn't tell you this because you probably want to take me on. I boxed in college at Villanova in the boxing club, not actually pro boxing. Okay? I got no skill. But I do know, I know a lot about money. I know Mike Tyson made hundreds of millions of dollars, but he was not smart with his money. Don't tell him I said that, but he so he got down to about $1 million in net worth. Now he's doing crazy commercials and doing all the weird stuff, trying to make money back again. Don King was a business guy. And he didn't have to box, but he could promote boxers. He didn't have to do the briefing, he just promoted the briefing. He got people to come watch Mike Tyson and other people box. Guess what he's worth? $280 million. So at the end of the day, guys, you don't have to be the superstar. You just have to invite people to go watch the superstar, and you can make a fortune, right? So, let me come back to my notes. Third party. Third party is always better than first party. Make sure you get my good side. I don't know which side it is anymore. So, third party is better than first party means that instead of you making yourself the deal, because we have to be honest. Okay, so when you look at yourself in the mirror, I want you to see a beautiful person with amazing qualities and all that. But we also have to think, how do other people view us? If people are not looking at you like you are a wealthy, successful, amazing entrepreneur, Legal Shield superstar, then you probably don't have a lot of credibility to be able to deliver the message yourself to that person. See, we feel great about ourselves, but that does not mean that that's how other people are going to receive us. So I was a 28-year-old kid. I was making 6 figures in real estate. The Carruthers name was on all the real estate signs, Prudential Carruthers all over the DC area. I felt pretty good about where I stood in life, but when I went to talk to somebody about Legal Shield, I was a nobody, nothing. I was 28. I looked like I was 20. I didn't have any credibility or respect for these people. So my mentor said, Brian, you just got to be real. If you want to go out and talk to people that are older than you or more successful than you, you've got to actually not be the deal. Take yourself out of the equation. Use third party. Have them go listen to somebody else do the presentation, get their questions answered by somebody else, get closed by somebody else. Third party is always better than first party. Now, selling the membership, you can go sell the membership. Sit down with somebody, walk them through the app, share a few stories how you've used it or how others have used it, and ask them if they want to pay $25 or $49 to get the services set up, and boom, that's easy. That's really, actually, that's very easy to do. Now, as my old mentor said, what's easy to do is also easy not to do. Is it easy to sell membership? Yes. Is it easy to sit at home and not go make appointments and do it? Yes. Okay? But on the recruiting side, if you want to build a team, you've got to use third party. So use the company video. You know, Darnell and I did the PBO, private business overview video. It's a 22-minute video. You get somebody to watch it. Now, and here's where what you have to get good at. How can you get somebody to watch the video? The video will do its job, but if they don't watch it, it can't do anything. So I'm going to give you an example. So let's say Jeff is a prospect, and let's say he lives in Florida and I live in Virginia. So let's say, however, I found him on Facebook because he was a friend of a friend. And by the way, people, if anybody ever says, well, I don't know who to talk to, I've run out of prospects. That's a total lie. It's a total lie. We never run out of leads, we run out of courage. We never run out of leads, we run out of courage. Courage to talk to people that you don't know. Courage to go talk to people that, so look, if I'm like, I talked to all my friends and family, I showed everybody Legal Shield, and now what do I do next? I can go on Facebook right now, I can pull up, I can go on Facebook, I can go on my friend's Facebook page and look at his comment, his posts, and when I look at, let's say, what's your name? Ian? Let's say Ian's a friend of mine. I go on Ian's Facebook page. I look at his last post. And on his post, he's got 4 people that commented. There's 4 different people I don't know. So I'm going to go comment on their comments. And Jeff is a commenter. Jeff, they're friends. He comments. He got a new car. Jeff's like, oh, I love that car. It's awesome. I say, Jeff, I totally agree. It is an awesome car. By the way, what kind of car do you drive, Jeff? And then we start a conversation. And then we get that conversation turned into I friend request him. And all of a sudden, he accepts. Now we're friends. And now I want to comment on something. Now I want to go look at his page. And he's got a picture of him and his family on there. They're on a vacation. Hey, where are you guys vacationing? Oh, we're down in Naples, Florida. Oh, I love Naples, Florida. It's awesome. I usually go there, usually once a year. Where do you stay? Where do you go? And we're having a communication. Guess what? We're becoming friends. I had no idea who he was, but he's a friend, and I found a friend through a friend. See, if you go on social media with intent, then you can actually be profitable spending your time on there. If you're on there to be entertained and you fall down the scroll hole, you're scrolling. I can't believe that. Scroll. Oh my God. You're just wasting your whole life on social media. But if you go on there to make new friends, and when you make new friends, now you've got more people you can go impact their life. Now you've got a plan. All right. So third party is always better than first party. I don't know if I even finished my thought on it, but I'm lost now. So, but here's what's funny about me. You probably don't think it's funny, but I have to laugh because sometimes I have thoughts, and it was a really great thought, and then I go down some other tangents, and I lose my way, and then I never even circle back and finish it, and you are like, what the hell was he talking about? And I don't know, but I still think my train's pretty good. So do me a favor, on your notepad, draw out a little face, put 2 ears and a mouth on it. Just draw it out. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. We need to listen twice as much as we're doing the talking. A lot of times in business, people, like, you show up and throw up. And you don't want to just vomit legal shield stuff all over people. We need to stop selling and start solving. Stop recruiting and start solving. Your job is not to impress somebody with your knowledge about Legal Shield. Now, when I've heard some people do their spiel, I've overheard some of it. Sometimes people have asked me, hey, will you listen to me do it? And sometimes I'm like, oh my God, if I was a prospect, there's no way I would sit this out. I mean, I just leave, you know? Your knowledge, it's almost like sometimes the more you know, the more you feel compelled to share. I love working with a brand new person that doesn't know anything. So if I just recruited Jeff today, that's my happy space, because he doesn't know enough to tell anybody anything. My goal is to get in front of his prospects and do the presentation for him before he learns anything. Because if he starts learning stuff, he won't use me, and he'll go out there and start blabbing Legal Shield to everybody else on his own. And he's using first party, and that doesn't work. So your goal is to make sure that when you bring somebody on board, before they start learning stuff, give the presentation to the closest people that they know. Now, when I say stop selling, start solving, or stop recruiting, start solving, if you can find problems in somebody's life that Legal Shield can solve, it's a laydown, right? They're absolutely going to buy the membership if you can share with them how it's going to solve problems that they've got. If you find out that they don't have a will, and you can say, hey, you can spend $1,000, or you can spend $25, what are they going to do? If they choose 1,000, something's wrong there. And I'm not saying that they're stupid. I'm saying there's a gap, and the gap might be maybe they think that the will that they'll get for $25 through Legal Shield is not the same will they would get when they spend $1,000. You guys know what I'm talking about. You look at a bottle of shampoo that's $18, a bottle of shampoo that's $4. The $18 shampoo must be better. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. So sometimes people feel like you get what you pay for. So maybe they don't understand that they're going to get the same exact will that they would get for $1,000. They're going to get from an attorney that would have charged $1,000, but because Legal Shield pays them hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, the customer's getting it for free. So my point here, guys, is that your goal is to listen more than talk. Find out, have them share with you a little information that you can turn around and show them how you can solve those problems. We've got the 1-minute survey. You can print it out, but it's also in the mobile app, in our prospect app. The 1-minute survey, some of the resources. And what's great about this is if you can ask a friend, a relative, or heck, a stranger, okay? I mean, I got people on my team that they're out there asking strangers, hey, you don't know me, but can I ask a favor? It'll take 60 seconds. I'm working on a project with my company. Can you just answer these questions on this survey for me? Yes or no? Take 60 seconds. Here's a pen. Easy to get somebody to answer a survey. Do you have a will? Do you own a gun? Do you own a business? Do you ever use an attorney? I mean, I don't know, these are all out of order, but do you know about holding your auto insurance policy? Would you get a will? Would you use an attorney if you didn't have to pay by the hour? I mean, just yes or no answers. And then now you got the ammunition. Now I can look at it. Oh, they don't have a will. They own a business. They own a gun. They don't know about the holding your insurance policy. Now I can just go and just share with them. Well, let me share with you this new Legal Shield mobile app that allows you to be able to have attorneys that they'll get your will done for free. They give you gun coverage for your business. Do you ever have any business legal needs? Do you ever spend money on attorneys with your business at all for hiring and firing issues? Right? So I can go through that, and it's an easy sale. Same thing with recruiting. Same thing with recruiting. If you can find out what they like about their job, what they don't like about their current job, or what they like about their life, what they don't like about their life. If you find out that they don't have a lot of time freedom, if you can find out if they are financially not doing as well as they'd like to do, they would love some more cash flow. But here's the thing: one of my favorite movies that really teaches this concept. There's a movie called 8 Mile. Anybody watched 8 Mile before? Yeah. It was Eminem, the rapper. And so let me share with you how this movie goes. So Eminem is a white rapper in Detroit. And he lived in a trailer with his mom and his daughter and his friends. They would go out every Friday night to this basement in this building for this big rap battle every Friday. And in a rap battle, you have two different rappers that would do a freestyle rap for 30 seconds. Whoever got the biggest applause would win. So you get 30 seconds, and typically what they would do is they would just trash the other person, and everybody would go crazy. And the other one would get 30 seconds, they would trash that person. Whoever actually did the best, they get the biggest applause, they win. So Eminem, his name was Rabbit in the movie, he got all the way to the finals. And it was blown everybody's mind that he actually was good. But so he's getting ready to go into the finals. And Papa Doc was the champion. Nobody ever could beat Papa Doc. He was the best. But so Eminem is in the bathroom. And he's totally getting psyched out. He's looking at himself in the mirror. He doesn't know what he's going to do. And it's just this quiet moment. And you can see when he's looking at himself, he had an aha moment. You can kind of see it behind his eyes. You can feel, you can just tell he's thinking to himself, oh, I got the plan. So he comes out of the bathroom. And his friends are all there. You got a rabbit, you got a rabbit. And you're high-fiving and all that. He gets one on the stage. And you got the DJ up here who plays the beat while it's for them to do it. And so they have a DJ up here, and the host, they flip a coin to see who's going to go first. And the coin flip, and Rabbit wins the toss, and he says, I'll go first. And everybody's like, oh my God, what an idiot. The whole crowd's like calling him an idiot, because you always want to go second. Like, come over the top, and you win. So he goes, I'll go first. So Rabbit's got the microphone, the beat starts, and Rabbit's like, yeah, I'm an absolute loser. I live with my mom. I'm a single dad. I can't provide for my kid. I'm a white. I'm trailer trash. He just destroys himself. Gives the microphone to Papa Doc. Beat starts. He did nothing to say. Nothing. Eminem wins. Well, how did that work? Because anything that could be used against him, he used on himself. Self-deprecation, he won the battle, right? So that's how it works in Legal Shield. If I'm talking to Jeff, if I say, hey Jeff, look man, you hate your job, you work crazy hours, you're not doing well financially, you never see your wife and kids, you're probably miserable as hell. He's like, he's going to get defensive, he's going to get mad, he's going to defend himself. I like my job, my wife sees me all the time, my kids have too much of my time. He'll even lie to defend his ego. But instead, here's what I would do. Hey Jeff, man, let me just tell you my story real quick. I'm working crazy hours in real estate, 60 hours plus. I'm not making the kind of money I want to make. These hours are killing me. I don't have time with my family. I don't see my boys enough. Can you relate at all?
Bingo.
And he's going to be like, yeah, me too, man. All you're after, guys, is me too. Write those two words down, me too. That's all you want. Do you want him to be like, I feel you, brother? I say, look, I lay in bed and I look at the ceiling a lot of times. Like, there's no way I can keep doing this. I can't miss my kids growing up. There's got to be a better way. And I went on a search and I found a mentor, and I'm working on a business project right now, and I've never been this excited about my life before. Would you want to see the solution I found, and maybe it might be something for you? He's like, yeah, I'd love to see it. And then I invite him to see a video, or I invite him to a briefing, and I let him see the information. My whole goal, guys, is to point out the problems that he has by pointing out mine and asking him if he can relate. So be vulnerable. Write that down. Vulnerable. What is your vulnerable story? Craft your vulnerable story that's going to get them thinking. If you're vulnerable, I'm telling you, you're going to talk to their heart, not to their head, not to their wallet. So, thank you. So, I actually was kind of emotional when I was doing that. So, when I also talk about the listening more, here's what's great about Legal Shield. Because we do solve problems in people's lives, it's so great if you just listen and people talk about things that they're dealing with. And all you got to say is, hey, you should use your legal app for that. Just write that down. Hey, you should use your legal app for that. You never say, what legal app? Oh, Legal Shield. You don't have it yet. They're like, no. And that's your opportunity to be able to introduce them to Legal Shield. If you're with them, you can show them the app and how that can help them. Just you push this button right here. You can have a law firm advise you what to do with that. To get ready to sign a contract to get a new car or whatever. Well, first of all, make sure that you have your law firm. Just use this. You can fax it over to your law firm and have a look over your shoulder. But before you do that, also in this app, check out member perks right here. I have a friend of mine that actually saved $7,000 buying a new Infiniti because he went through the perks instead of going right through the dealership. So you can just always be looking for opportunities to be able to provide value to people. You should use your legal app for that. So just stop selling, start solving. Stop recruiting, start solving. And you can only do that if you listen more than you talk. Don't be the first to talk. Let it be one of those quiet contests, and the first person who talks loses. Okay, you'll win by having them talk first. Okay. Now, what happened in December and January that caused us to get so much momentum? Well, Darnell, Self, and I were in Las Vegas at the GoPro event as speakers there. We're also, not only were we there, but we're also part of a mastermind where all 7-figure earners around the industry are coming together and sharing ideas. And we pay $1,000 a month each to be able to be a part of this conference call once a week for an hour. And the ideas, some of them you've seen, some of them you haven't even seen yet, because we're all going to be integrated into what we're doing here with our future Legal Shield. It's just mind-blowing. But one of the things we figured out is there's an 80%, there's an 80-20 rule. 80% of people don't do squat. 20% do 80% of the business in any realm, in real estate, Legal Shield, in anything. But you got the 80%ers, then you got the 15%ers, and you get the 5%ers. 5%ers, they're out there ripping and roaring. They're going to be they're the most productive people. 15%ers are doing a little bit. You know, the part-timers, they want to be 5%ers, but they're not there yet. 80%ers, they're not probably ever going to do much. And you can't talk to an 80%er that might be trying to sell a membership here or there. You can't talk to them about making 6 figures. You can't talk to them about doing all these activities. That's not what they're not going to do it. Some of them, they're crippled by fear. They're afraid. They're afraid to talk to somebody. They don't know what they're going to say. If they're going to say it right or wrong. If they're going to get rejected. Or, people fear the number one fear. You know what the number one fear is? Being judged. It's not getting rejected. It's not getting a no. Because we all know we're just collecting answers. Yes or no, yes or no. Either you're interested or not. But people are afraid of being judged. You might not have talked to your successful uncle about Legal Shield because you're afraid he's going to judge you and say, oh, you're wasting your time on a stupid project like that, or you're an idiot, or you're not cut out to be an entrepreneur. Who do you think you are? You're afraid to be judged, so you actually just clam up and you don't want to be judged, so if you don't say anything, you don't get judged. That's a horrible way to live. Who wants to shrink up? So we figured out that we need to have a fear-free and a skill-free way for everybody to do the activity that can get results in this business. Fear-free and skill-free. And that's why when we came home and we were putting a campaign together, Darnell, because we're coming from Vegas, he came up with 777, like a jackpot on a slot machine, right? 777. So he's like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do 7 Zooms, one a day, once a week for 7 days, 7 Zooms with 7-figure earners, and everybody's going to send out a scripted text message to 7 people a day. 777. That's what we did. It exploded activity in the field. We have more people that sold memberships or recruited people into the business, like not just more in volume, but more people that engaged and got it. So instead of just having like 3,000 people that are regularly productive on a monthly basis, and I'm just throwing a number out there, I don't know what the exact number is, but it was like 4,000. It's like we had a whole big percentage of people that actually started doing stuff that weren't doing it. Why? Because we took the fear away. And we took the excuse of, I don't know what to do. I don't have the skill. Fear-free and skill-free. It was amazing. Guess what we're doing? So Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, coming out of here. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. We're going to be doing, it's called the Trilogy. Guess who came up with that name? Darnell. So, I don't know what it is, but it sounded cool. I think it's like Morpheus from, from whatever, what's that movie? Matrix. So, the Trilogy is, I'm going to be doing Sunday, Darnell's going to do Monday, and Elizabeth Gardner's going to do Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do a Zoom presentation. And the idea is going to be, we're going to do 3 nights. We want everybody to send out 3 scripted text messages to invite somebody onto one of these 3 Zooms. Very simple. And so, can anybody do that? Absolutely. But we're not even asking 7. We're saying, we're going to give you a script. It's going to say, hey, XX, which by the way is hey, their name, and you just, all you have to do is just swap out the XX and put your first name in. And hit send. Whether it be a text, or whether it be an Instagram message, it could be a Facebook message, doesn't matter. Just send out 3 messages a day for the next 3 days. This can be a total of 9. Can anybody do that? Yes. Can anybody do more than that? You can, but I'm not telling you to do that. By the way, I don't want you telling people about it. Because if you go out there and you do 20 messages tomorrow, then your team, you're bragging, hey, look at me, I'm doing 20. And they're like, well, I can't do that. I don't know 20 people. My fingers get tired after 7, so I can't do this business. Just tell everybody in your team that you do your 3. So you can encourage them, because it takes, how long is it going to take to actually do cut and paste, swap out a name, and send? It'll probably take about 3 minutes to do 3 of those. So everybody on your team, the inactive people that are not doing anything, can still come out of the woodwork and send out 3 messages to see if they get lucky and lands and somebody says, hey, give me the Zoom link, I want to check out what you're talking about. Because we're going to give you the language that has been effectively getting people's attention. So let's say out of 9 text messages over the next 3 days, maybe 2 of them say, okay, I'm intrigued, I'm curious, give me the link, I'll jump on there. Well, guess what? Some of the people haven't had a person check out a presentation in ages. Then he's got 2 people to get on a Zoom to hear one of the $1 million earners to do the presentation for him. So put that in your calendar, LegalShieldZoom.com, 9 p.m. Eastern, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday this week. So again, that's something that everybody can do and everybody can teach and challenge their team to do. I would encourage you guys, if you're a team leader, get a conference call together. Tonight, tomorrow, whatever. Just get everybody together as best you can, and you're not going to get everybody, get some people together and get them, locked and loaded on it. Have them turn around and get everybody on their team to reach out to them, but everybody should be going into massive communication mode over the next 24 hours, getting everybody leading into the one I'm going to do tomorrow night. Because out of all 3 of those presentations, mine's going to be by far the best. You guys know I don't really think that, right? Yes, you do. No, I really don't. My bark is way worse than my blade. So let's talk about closing. So I think there's some random thoughts. Now, whenever I go to a training, my thought is always, all right, what can I do that can help challenges that people are having? I never sit backstage at an event like this or at a national convention or whatever. I'm never back there going, okay, what can I say? And how can I say it so these people feel like, oh my gosh, Brian is the best speaker. Like when I'm nervous before I get up and talk and share something, it's never about like, oh, what are they going to think about me? It's how can I share a message that is not just me just blabbing for whatever my time allocation is. I want to be able to share something that you all can act on, that you'll get results from. What I don't want, that's a lie. I do enjoy people say, hey, you gave a great talk. But what I prefer is somebody that I see the next time I see them, they say, hey, what you said in Salt Lake City, let me tell you something. I've made another 20 grand in my business because of what you said. That's what I want to hear, right? So even though like I'm going to teach you some of these technical things, it's not like I'm up here doing all Eric Thomas rah-rah stuff, right? You'll get that from other speakers. That's not what I'm going to do. So closing here at the end of the day, when you do your presentation on the membership or the opportunity, if you send them off with your link to go sign up on their own, you're going to lose half of them. There is a black hole that sucks them in. I don't know where they all go. I don't know what happens, but they have intentionality, like, hey, give me your link, I'll sign up later tonight. Or I'll sign up. I've had people say, give me your link, I'll sign up right now. And I'm hitting refresh on my emails, waiting for my notification to come. The same time I could have, instead of hitting refresh, waiting for that notification, I should have stayed on the phone and walked them through it. Never leave your person to themselves to go sign up. If you're at a briefing, circle up at a briefing. I don't know what happened. Somewhere along the way, we lost our way at an event like this. Nobody should ever go to the parking lot and leave without having signed up. And it's not like we're trying like hardcore closing tactics. lock them down, headlock until they submit and sign up. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm saying if they say, I'm in, I want to sign up. But they think that it's going to be a long process, and they've already been at a long meeting, or maybe they have a babysitter they need to release, so they roll out, and they intend to go home and sign up. There's positive intent there. But then guess what? They go home, and the babysitter tells them the kid was bad. The kid bit me. Okay, whatever. Now they got to deal with the problem, and now the legal shield's not even on their mind. So when you're at a meeting, you circle up, you stay seated. Don't get up, stay seated. Just turn to them. Hey, you excited about it? You want in? That's what Dave School always said. How do you close? You want in? And you say yes or no. You want in? Yeah. Okay. Here. And he fill out an application with them. But now we don't. I'm sending you a link. Got it? Okay. Click it. Yeah, right there. Just state. All right. Good. Yep. Right there. So you got click become an associate. Okay. Good. Over here on the left, you see where it says legal plan. All right. Choose a legal plan. Click add, okay, come back over here. See ID Shield, all right, click that. The ID Shield Plus, all right, click that, all right. So what you got there? All right, perfect. Go to the next page. All right, still start filling that out. Good, you're doing all right, good. Yeah. Just stay with them. If you don't stay with them, you're going to lose half of them. But even if you don't lose them, even if you finally get them signed up, you play cat and mouse chase for like days, wasting your time in theirs. So one of the things that I learned that's really helpful is to tell them about how little it's going to take to do it. Tell them it's going to take you about 4 minutes. In their mind, they're thinking it's going to be, I don't know, a half hour. What's it going to take to sign up for start a business? Most people have never started a business. And most businesses start, it's like, it's a big undertaking. Like it's getting months of paperwork and lawyers. This is pay $99 on a mobile app. So you just tell them it's just going to take 4 minutes. I'll help you do it right now. But they're like, oh no, I'll do it later. No, but guess what? If you do it later on, it's going to take a lot longer because I won't be able to be here to help you do the shortcut. Just make sure that they know how simple it's going to be, and you walk them through it. Okay? 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 All right, let me talk about social media. I said this a little bit earlier in the private meeting. It warrants being said here as well. This is my public service to the world. If I can just get 150 Legal Shield associates to stop bothering people on social media, then I will have done some good for the world. So a couple things that we don't do on social media and some things we do on social media. So here's some don'ts. Don't be plastering Legal Shield on your Facebook page all the time. You're going to drive your friends crazy. They don't want to see your sales pitch over and over and over again. They want to see ads. They go look for ads. Your Facebook page is not a big billboard. Okay? If you're going to be posting anything ever about Legal Shield, it should be like at most 10%. If you want to read a good book on why this is important, Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, if you guys follow him on social media, he wrote a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook. It needs to be jab, 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 and then right hook. It's not like right hook, right hook, right hook, like sales pitch, sales pitch, sales pitch, sales pitch, sales pitch. You're just blowing people out of the water. And so, I personally hardly ever, usually once a month would I ever do something on social media about Legal Shield. Now, you can't look at my example, by the way. I'm an anomaly that has no relevance to you guys. I've got a Facebook page that has pretty much all Legal Shield on it. So why would I ever say anything about Legal Shield on there that has to do with talking to prospects? Because you guys are all taking up all 5,000 of my friends on there. Then I have another Facebook page that is non-Legal Shield. And that one is a lot of other network marketers and people that I actually am kind of building my brand to market my books and that kind of stuff. So on that one, those are not Legal Shield people. Now, because of me being in my space of trying to be a generic trainer in the industry, I can't recruit an active network marketer. If Jeff is right now in Melaleuca and he's actively building that business, I can't even talking about Legal Shield, because if other Melaleuca people feel like, oh, well, you can't read Brian's books, if you start loving Brian, and your team's going to want to start working Legal Shield with him. So I'm in a weird space. So I'm not the example. Don't look at my social media to demonstrate what I'm sharing with you right now, okay? But on that non-Legal Shield Facebook page, I will once in a while talk about the importance of a will and share a story about how somebody had passed away and now what the family's going through because they didn't have a will in place. And remember, guys, I'm your go-to for Legal Shield, so you can get your will done for free and save $1,000. And because I'm not doing that all the time, if I do that like once every couple months, I get 2 or 3 sales out of it almost every time I post. Because I'm value, nothing to do with Legal Shield, and then a little Legal Shield day, right? So, but for you guys that don't have that dynamic, if you got your one Facebook page, you should be value. Sharing. You go look at Darnell Self's page. He's constantly sharing quotes and lessons, and even if he's at a restaurant, even if he's posting about a meal, he finds a lesson in the meal. It's so weird. So cool, right? But it shouldn't be like, your friends don't need to know about every burrito and every avocado and everything that you're eating and every weight that you lifted. I mean, again, this is your chance to, look, when somebody's deciding if they're going to partner up in business with you. Like an employer is looking at you as a candidate to hire at their company. You know what they do? They look at your social media. And they see somebody who's divisive or somebody who is just a lunatic or just posting crazy stuff, they're not going to hire you. People that you're trying to recruit into your Legal Shield business, when they're looking at your social media and you're posting crazy stuff, they're going to be like, and it could be, might not even be crazy. If you just post about every daggone meal, they're like, do I really want to partner up with this chef? I don't know. Maybe they're a foodie and you're a foodie. Maybe that might attract you. I don't know. But everything's in moderation, right? If you want to post your meal, post your meal. It's a really cool meal. Smoke coming out of the thing, whatever. That's cool. You want to have personal stuff on there, but leave the politics out. How many of you guys love Donald Trump? I'm just kidding. If you love or hate Donald Trump, don't post your love, don't post your hate. Because if you love them, the Democrats hate you now. If you hate them, then the Republicans hate you now. So here's the thing. You're going to polarize and have your audience right out of the equation. They'll never do business with you if you do anything political. So I would just say politics and religion have their own place, but if you're trying to use social media to do lead gen, to attract people to your team, you have to be very careful about what you want to post. Okay? Now, we'll talk about Performance Club. So, what I chose to do is I examined the Legal Shield model. I said, all right, what are the building blocks? Like, if I want to scale the business, so I can build it to where it generates $100,000 a year in income, $500,000 a year in income, $1 million a year in income, and my target, I want to make $1 million a year in personal income for Legal Shield. How do I scale that? What can I do to drive that number of people to put that much volume through the system to be able to throw off that kind of cash flow? Well, there's only one that you can count on. Rank advancement is great. Rank advancement is a great driver for people that are coming into business and for them to move up rank. Rank advancement is always one of the key 2 fundamental drivers. But the driver that I focused on is Performance Club. I focus on rank advancement too, but Performance Club, look, if you Performance Club qualify and you can teach other people to do that same thing, the brilliance of it is when somebody is PC qualifying consecutively and they're getting regular cash bonuses every month from the company. If they fall out, if they don't PC qualify this month, they fall back to 0, have to start all over again, and they have to start at a smaller bonus and work their way up in a bonus structure again. The model makes sure that the people stay productive. So if you could just get people in a PC qualification mode and they're doing production every single month, once they're 6 months, 12 months, 18 months along, I mean, they are very unlikely to let themselves fall out, right? So, but here's the challenge though. If you say, hey, I want to make $1 million a year in Legal Shield, or I want to make $100,000 a year in Legal Shield, but you're telling me all the time, Brian, you keep on telling me I need to go PC qualify. That's not going to make me a 6-figure income. You're missing the whole point. If you don't PC qualify, I assure you, you aren't making six figures ever. But if you do PC qualify, and let's say you do $180 in sales, $180 in sales. The commission on that is going to be, depending on your commission level, is probably going to be ballpark of $500, with a bonus on top of that, anywhere from $100 to $400. Let's say in your first year, you're at a $100 bonus each month. So you're making $600 for PC qualifying. And Zoom, what I'm basically saying is 3 or 4 customers a month for a little service, right? So think about this. You're doing a few people, you're getting signed up, and you're making $600 a month. You're going, well, that's not moving the needle in my life. And so because you don't think it's moving the needle, it's not that important, so maybe you do it or you don't do it. But you're missing the whole boat. It's not the $600 that you made that's going to change your life. It's a story of the $600 that you made that's going to get all the countless other people behind you to do the same thing, that they're going to go start PC qualifying, that's going to make you $1 million earner in legal shield. That's the key. You make $600, it doesn't matter that much to you. Teach 5 people on your team to go out there and make $600 a month doing it. And then those 5 each get 5 people doing it. Now it's you plus 5 plus 25, you got 31 of you guys doing it. You're making 6 figures with 31 people doing PC qualifying. And then those 25 each get another 5. Then you can have like 125 people. It's not going to happen overnight, but over time you build that out. You got 150 of you guys PC qualifying now. You have 150 PC qualifiers in your team. You're making multiple 6-figure income, guys. But it all started with you PC qualifying yourself. I mean, just like there is no question that you're going to do that minimum production. And let me tell you, I've always worked hard in Legal Shield. I don't work as hard as you all think. I work from home. I got my wife who I love, who I always walk in the other room to mess around with her, make a sandwich, have lunch, or just joke around, or I go play with my 2-year-old, my 1-year-old, my 13-year-old comes home from school, I pick him up from school, we go play a little golf, a little basketball, whatever the case is. I'm doing a lot of messing around, okay? Because I can. So if you think I'm just all work, no, I don't work near as hard, but I always PC qualify. Because I want to make sure that I want to keep on leading by example with my team so they can do the same thing. It doesn't take that much to go PC qualify, guys. If we could put a man on the moon in 1969, you can find 4 people to buy a Legal Shield membership. Seriously. Don't psych yourself out. Visit, listen more, solve more people's problems. It's just that simple. Now I've got, you got me 12 minutes left? Is that what I got? Let me see if I got anything else that can help you guys out here. Are there any more books left, or are they gone?
Still plenty of books.
Is it still plenty of books?
There's still books.
What's wrong with people? Still plenty of books. I sent 50 down. So, guys, the money mind. How many of you guys have not yet read Money Mindset? You have not yet read Money Mindset. Raise your hand if you've not read it. Let's be honest. This honesty thing is really going to help you. Okay. Here's what I want to. And that's a $14 book. They're selling for $9 today. Okay. Building Empire is also discounted. The Untrapped is also discounted. I've sent them down here, and you're not paying retail, and you're not waiting for shipping and all that. You're paying for that. Get the Money Mindset book. I want you all to have a precise knowledge on what you're going to do with the money when you make it. Because when you know what you're going to do with something before it comes, you'll go get it. You'll attract it. You'll do the effort to get the money to come in because you already have it earmarked. You know what you're going to do with it. That's helped me, guys. I'm trying to help you, tell you what helped me. Because I knew what I was going to do with the money when I made it. I made a lot of it. Do you guys know all the tax deductions as a home-based business owner? No. So you guys don't?
Is that on the
It's all in the book. Like, if you want to be able to write off 56 or 58 cents a mile for your miles in your car, I want you guys to think about this. All the people that you guys know that are W-2 employees, they don't have any clue about how much money they will save in in-pocket tax savings as a home-based business owner. Well, I forget. I don't even know what it is for 2020. Is it 58 cents a gallon? A mile? Okay, 58 cents. Think about this. You're pumping gas in the gas station, and let's round it up. And you've got a nice car. You're using premium unleaded. $3 a gallon. Unless your car gets 20 miles to the gallon. You're writing off 58 cents a mile. Each gallon gets 20 miles. So what is that? That's like, what's 58 cents times 20? That's 10, 11.60. You're writing off $11.60 a gallon. You're only buying it for $3. The way I look at it, you're profiting pumping gas. You buy a gallon for $3, you're writing off against your taxes $11.60. The general public doesn't understand how that works. Most people, they make this amount of money, they pay their taxes, and they get whatever's left as an employee. As a business owner in Legal Shield, you make this amount of money, you take all your deductions off, and then you pay taxes on the remaining amount. They don't teach this to people. People just don't understand this. But you guys need to understand it, and need to be able to articulate this to people that don't know any better. So the money mindset book is going to help you to attract money instead of repel it. Psychologically, the first chapters of the book will help you to actually have a better relationship with money. Therefore, you'll like it more, and you'll have more come to you. And you'll keep it instead of repel it, instead of getting rid of it. Right? You'll pay the least amount of taxes, and you'll put the money to work. I'll simply say this. If you want to put your money to work where you don't have to worry about it, you can see all the places that I've invested in the book. But if you just go get a Vanguard S&P index fund, there's no fees, points, no load, just go put it in there and let it ride. Warren Buffett says, hey, if I die, for my wife, I would just tell her to go mirror the S&P index and don't worry about anything. Because the S&P always goes that way. It doesn't go that way, it goes, but it always ends up here. It averages a 10% average return, average over the last 50 years. So there's not a lot of rocket science to this, but if you didn't have somebody tell you to go get an S&P index fund, then what would you go do? Probably put your money in a bank at 1/8% interest rate. Guys, I'm here to help you learn how to grow this business, turn to profit, pay the least amount of taxes, and I want to help you guys learn how to build wealth. That's what I love to do. So hopefully you guys, read the money mindset. Read the Building an Empire so you know what to do in this business. If you have people on your team that have not yet read Untrapped, get them to read Untrapped. Get them to understand why. I wrote these books for Legal Shield, but I made it generic so people outside of here can use it too. But everything I write is so that we can help use it to grow everybody's Legal Shield business. If you guys have not read Untrapped yet, get it and read it, guys. You're going to say, oh my God, if I just get people on my team to read that book, they will be more productive. If I get prospects to read that, they will beg me to give me the link. Give them your link to sign up as an associate. So that's why those books are out there. It's not because I need to pay for my flight home. And in closing, where's Sushi Mike? Is he still here? Man, I took a note on you today, man. How long is that going to be your story? That was so good. That was worth my trip down here. Just that quote right there. You all have your current story right now, whatever that story is. How long is that story going to remain your story? Nobody in here is where they want to be. I'm not where I want to be yet. You're not where you want to be yet. You wouldn't be here if you were where you wanted to be. You'd be somewhere else. You wouldn't be in a seminar trying to learn how to go out and grow your business bigger. So how long are you going to keep that same story? Be willing to sacrifice, give up good for great. I talk to people a lot. Think about the last time you talked to a prospect like, no, I'm good. You know what I'm good means? People try to convince themselves that they're happy where they are because they think where they are is all they're going to be able to get. So they're trying to convince themselves that they're happy where they are. You know what they've done? They've settled. Yeah. They settled for where they're at. These are the cards I was dealt. I'm just playing the hand I was dealt. No, you know what? You can discard. You can get new cards. Don't ever settle, you guys. Can you imagine quietly walking into your home and your spouse is there in the kitchen on the phone and you want to walk in and sneak up and give your spouse a little surprise kiss? So you're sneaking in and you hear your spouse talking to his or her friend, and they're confessing that, yeah, you know, I'm not that happy, but, you know, I kind of settled. I settled for him. I settled for her. I could have done better, but, you know, I'm good. Can you imagine how you would feel if you found out that somebody settled for you? Think about how your life feels when you settled for the life that you didn't want, that you want more. You guys have a lot more in you. You've got the best company on the planet.
Yeah.
You got a product everybody needs. More money than you'll know what to do with when you get this thing, you know, hit on all cylinders. You got friends that are here to support you, cheering you on. You got mentors that will pour into you whatever you need. You have everything that you need. The only thing that you don't need that you've been holding on to is the excuses. Just get rid of them today. Let them go. Write them down. Smoke it, whatever you want to do. Get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Throw it in the fireplace. Flush it down the toilet. Seriously. Just, I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. I forget who said this years and years and years ago. They told us all to write our excuses down and literally tear it up and flush it down the toilet. Just the ceremony of doing it is better than just saying right now, okay, I'm getting rid of my excuses. Okay, let's all go eat dinner now. No, actually go home and write down your excuses. And do something ceremoniously, do something with them. So that it gets more embedded inside of you. Because I started to talk about Dallas, and one thing I gotta just leave you with is if you're not planning on going to Dallas, then you're not planning on having big success here. And if that's not what you're here for, and you don't care about having big success, you're here because you just want to have some local friends to hang out with sometimes and all that, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's great. Those friends will be in Dallas, so you'll have a good time there too. But if you are serious about being serious in Legal Shield, and you want to really make this thing happen, there is nothing that you can say that will legitimize you not going there. If you say, I can't afford to go, in my household, we don't use the word can't. It's just, I don't like the word can't. You'd have to change can't to asking the question, how can I go? If you're a senior associate, you make $120 when you sign something for a membership. What's it going to cost you? $600 to go to Dallas? With all the expenses? Well, 5 memberships. Between now and the next 7 weeks, go out and sell 5 memberships. Get your upline to help you sell 5 memberships, and you'll be in Dallas. Can't get off work. Oh, you can't get off work from the job that is sucking the life out of you, that has no light at the end of the tunnel, that is a treadmill that is robbing you of your joy. And you might say, no, I like my job. Okay, you might like your job, but it's still keeping you from the time freedom and the financial freedom, maybe if you like what you do. I'm not against jobs, by the way. I am against people settling and making excuses why they can't come. You know why Mike Humes is a $7 million earner in Legal Shield now? Because his job said he'd get fired if he actually left and went to that convention, but he went anyway. You just got to make the sacrifices so you can go a lot farther than you even think that you can. Appreciate you guys. Hope you guys got